Oi, oi, oi. Sorry about that. End of the year. So if we're going to use the Augustan calendar as we do here in the wonderful wild west that I live in, it is December 31st, 2024. So we're going to put a lot of numbers and things on everything in a day. I mean, it's Tuesday, so everybody's going to get very confused because they get tomorrow off or today off, whatever, tomorrow off for work, January 1st, first of the year, because the Augustan calendar fits in very nicely with the work week, which is not necessarily standardized, but, you know, we have to have certain protocols, ways of dealing with this ridiculous mismeasurement of time and space. And yeah, and I entitled this, I think it's mourning, not morning. Yeah. Out with the old, in with the new. Well, they'd have you doing that every 3 seconds, wouldn't they? Everything gets da-da-da-da-da. No. Over there, back there is the old. Over there is the new. And in here is now. So I don't know with this old lang syne shite. Oh, should old acquaintances be forgot? I mean, come on. I mean, everything seems to be associated with this, and it's fairly recent discovery of dementia and amnesia, and you know, it's this. I mean, I'm going to go right down that conspiracy hole straight away because it's like, is there a memory wipe? Is there such a thing as a sort of partial memory wipe? We keep forgetting stuff. You know, I mean, my mum used to forget stuff all the time. She never once suffered from dementia. She was perfectly sane till the moment she died, but she was in control of herself. She was very responsible for herself. I held her in my arms as she died. I mean, I didn't agree with a lot of things my mum believed and what she did with her, but none of that really matters. What I'm trying to say is there seems to be a surge in the amount of people that are absent-mindedly forgetting things. I mean, and the thing is, it's like absent-mindedly forgetting things. I was talking to somebody yesterday whose mother is in a home, and she was like, oh yeah, she's got dementia. And it's like, no, she's not got dementia. She's old and she's forgotten a bunch of shit. But I don't necessarily believe that we can start, you know, labeling things and then putting people in homes or putting people in boxes where, you know, I mean, we all have memory loss, but do we have memory loss because we're mind controlled, or do we have memory loss because it's just natural with the amount of things we're expected to remember every moment of every day that we're likely to lose things, you know, including the memory of where I put my fucking keys. Where's my phone? Oh my God. What did I drink a coffee already this morning? Did I take my pills? Oh my gosh. Is it Tuesday or Am I supposed to be up, going to work early in the morning, or is it relax? Listen to my voice. Nothing but my voice. You're fine. You're absolutely fine. Take responsibility for who you are, and what you do. Be within your own peace and love, and understand that, yes, there are authentic things that will make you sad and happy and forgetful and remembering, and it's like, I think half the time, yeah, I'm not even going into measurements, half, no, I think a lot of the time, I think time is a construct, but I do believe when we get older in our human experience, the amount of things we've experienced is exponentially just boom, 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 so much experience that we get confused as to putting a date on it. I mean, until I had children, which my children are now 23, going on 24, and 21, going on 22. So my two daughters were my measure of time. That was when I started to think seriously about putting things in some sort of chronological order. The simple thing to do is pre and post children for me. I mean, that's, pre-children I did this, post-children I did this. I can actually sort my life out into that sort of order, but even that gets very confusing because I don't really hang on to things, and I know hanging on to things is very much touted as a person being, in quotes, sane. Is like, oh yeah, they're not delusional, they're not um, losing their memory, they're not deteriorating, they're not, no senile dementia there. It's like, but is it keeping the order of your life in a chronological way? Is that so very important? I mean, to me, there's a lot of things that we give sway to that have been inserted in the system of life. Boom. So I don't know. I mean, it's a tough one. Yeah. I mean, it's weird and strange. Boom. I've been working a little bit, financial work. It's been fun. I seldom have to work in my retirement. I'm not retired from anything. I work just as much. In fact, I work a lot more on my personal projects because I got more time. But at the same time, it's like I don't have to work to survive, to expand my living conditions. I live in a very small RV motorhome, my mothership, and it's beautiful. And I really appreciate the fact that I have that unique independence of a place of my own that I can actually take somewhere else with me. I mean, much like the proverbial tortoise and hare, if we want to talk about time and how we deal with time, it's a very old analogical story. I don't know, whatever you want to call that. The story of the tortoise and the hare. I now am the tortoise. and I like it. I mean, I'm very happy with it. Things that I'm not particularly happy about, because I'm going to go into the idea of what I posted as the title for this, and the you know the subtitle, which is probably more important: mourning, not mourning. You know, people pass. I had a phone call from a friend yesterday. He lives in a house full of curmudgeons, older people. It's not an old folks home. It's just rental house that some guy owns this house and rents out rooms. I used to live there a couple of years ago, and he said, "Oh yeah, you know Andy," and I'm like, "No, which one was Andy?" Because I didn't interact with the curmudgeons there much, apart from this one who's a really good friend of mine called Dennis, and I'm going to call Dennis in a little while and see if he needs some help. Anyway, but yeah, he called me and said, "Oh yeah, the landlord Tom came up to me and said, because there was police there, and said, yeah, Andy died." And I was like, "Wow, which one was Andy?" Because I get the names mixed up. I think it was Andy, Tim, Chucky, Juan, and Dennis, and Tom, the owner, and myself all living there at one point. But then it shuffles a little bit when one leaves and one comes in and whatever. But yeah, he said, Andy's dead. And Dennis said, "Wow, do we know what of?" "No, not really. He'd been ill for quite a while." And I remembered who Andy was. I mean, Andy was he was truly a good description of a curmudgeon. I mean, a curmudgeon is let's get the true definition. Let's not fuck around. Let's see if they've got it. These are words that I learnt long ago that kind of disappear from the they sort of disappear from the lexicon. I mean, this is again. I mean, I keep harping on about Danny Katz and her words, but words are very important. And when I was living in that place, it was all old men, and I said it's the curmudgeon hostel, and I thought that was funny. Funny in a jokey kind of way, not nasty, but funny. And from the Oxford book of here we go. There you go. Yeah. A bad-tempered person, especially an old one. Definitions. The meaning of curmudgeon is a crusty, ill-tempered, and usually old man. See, they put crusty in there. What the fuck is crusty? How to use curmudgeon in a sentence. This is Merriam-Webster. See, the modernization. Every year they add new words, and they don't take out the old ones, but we forget how to use them. An ill-tempered person full of stubborn ideas or opinions, often an older man. Crank, grump, grumpy pants, often childish. Yeah, curmudgeon. Anyway, I remembered Andy as a curmudgeon. And then Dennis said to me, yeah, he was only 52. And I was like, what the fuck? I mean, this guy was like, okay. And I'm not talking about people that are just in abject poverty and complaining about it. I'm talking about people who have chosen a lifestyle that's limited to their own misery. And a lot of people live happily. I mean, last night I was listening to some music, and it just so happened that a Smiths or Morrissey song came on. I was driving early hours of the morning, and I got to thinking about like the idea of heaven knows I'm miserable now. I mean, he was a clever lyricist, and there is a part of humanity that has authentic sadness, and I'm well aware of that part of life. I try not to dwell in it. I try to keep an even keel of all the nuances of my emotional being, and recognize, oh, I'm getting into the misery side of things. It's like, shh, lift it up. But I'm surrounded by people who are younger than me mostly, although some of them are the same age as me. And I recognize the older you are, the more likely you are to complain, to be that curmudgeon. And so I try really hard to pedal that back as much as possible, because I'm discovering new things every day. I mean, once you stop learning and you start acting out of the impulse of your misery, you're lost. I mean, that's in itself a form of mind control that can bring about this misty eyed nostalgia for, oh, it was so much better. And it's like, well, bring that with you. The better stuff, bring it with you, be in the now, and then help create even better, you know. So, I mean, a lot of people seem to be in mourning constantly in mourning. Um, I'm dressed in black today, funnily enough, traditional mourning colours. Oi. The only thing I'm mourning right now is the ability of Manchester United to play a decent game of football, because they seem to have lost their edge completely. Anyway, that's just an aside, a bit of fun, because I like watching live soccer. I like watching a team of people playing together in order to be the best they can be as a team. And no better sport than soccer for that to watch. But I only like to watch it live because it becomes too convoluted. I think people in America are starting to, or the United States. Yeah, I got to go and give somebody a jump start. Do we do? Alrighty. So that's it, really. I'm just checking in, making sure everybody's okay. I am, because I'm in love. I'm madly in love with life, and I love you. And please try to live life, especially now. It's very important. Do the things you love. I love you. Bye.